Good morning, good morning, good morning. Wow. So many of you are joining us today. This is Dr. Herbert Harris, and this is Success Mentorship Class number 305. Folks, we are 2 days from greatness, 2 days from the end of the year. Can you believe that? 2 days left to make it right. 2 days left to get it right. 2 days left to prepare for the new year. Our topic for today is it's never too late to make a new start. It's never too late to make a new start. And this topic is one that we do each year, and each year it's a different message, a different thought. And the reason is because we grow each year. You know, you can hear the same, actually, you can hear the same message a year later, the exact same words, and you hear something different. But today's message was one of true revelation and true inspiration based on the last year that we have all spent together. You know that our topics are based on our book, The 12 Universal Laws of Success. And really, everything here is really taken from our Success Toolbox. And this is a program that we have to give you everything you need to get anything you want. All of that stuff is available on our website, herbertharris.com, www.herbertharris.com. So now we've gotten all the commercials out of the way, told you where to go and what to do to change your life. Let us do our meditation so that we can be prepared to move on to this next elevation. So let's close our outer eyes, open our inner eyes, sit straight up in our seats, put your hands palm down on your knees, take a deep breath and hold it. Let it out slowly. Take a deep breath and hold it. Let it out slowly. And in this space of peace and relaxation, I am at peace with myself. Let us affirm that together. I am at peace with myself. Just let that peace sink in for a moment. Take a deep breath. Let it out slowly. And in this space of peace and relaxation, my mind is open, receptive, and ready to learn. Let us affirm that together. My mind is open, receptive, and ready to learn. Take a deep breath. Let it out slowly. And so it is. This morning, our topic, it's never too late to make a new start, is very apropos for this day. With 2 days left, counting today to the end of the year, it's important that we understand in our minds that no matter what has gone on these prior days, no matter how we have failed, how we have uh, not done the things that we wanted to do, not accomplished the things we wanted to accomplish, that even though that may be true, it should not impact our potential. Don't let our circumstances determine our potential. Guy Finley had a great quote, and he said, "Nothing in the universe can stop you from starting over." Nothing in the universe can stop you from starting over. That's powerful, folks. That's powerful. Because that's saying now, it's really giving you a clean slate. I know over these last 300 and what, 63, 62 days, we have had victories and we've had lessons. You never have a loss, you know, what they say, W's and L's. No, you never have a loss. In our business, in the business of personal growth and development, an L means a lesson. When we think about this, going into this new year, what must we do to make this new year exactly the way we want it to be? And we've given that a lot of thought. And when we begin to think about this, what are the principles? What is the way for us to do it? How can we actually get it done? Every year, at the end of the old year, we are faced with what do we do next year? And I know that many of you have made decisions and made resolutions and said, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And then a year goes by and you go like, wow, what happened? The one thing we know is this: you cannot take the old consciousness into the new year. You know, at our church, we're going to do a burning bowl ceremony tomorrow and talk about all those negative thoughts, negative emotions, negative actions, negative people that we need to get out of our lives. We're going to write them down and we're going to burn them. We're going to take them outside and bury them. And that's symbolic that you cannot take into this new year the stuff that held you back in the last year. So let's look at some of the process to get there. Number one, you got to see it first. I often look at life as a success GPS. And when you go into your car and you turn on your GPS, the most critical thing for you to do is to put in the destination. Without the destination, the GPS is useless. So see it first. In the Bible, it talks about the promised land. And you know, when the children of Israel came out of Egypt, Moses sent the young people, the young men, to go and scout out the promised land, to walk the width and breadth of it. But when you read it closely, Moses never got to the promised land. And what that spiritually means is you can't take the old you into the new destination. You can't take your old thoughts into your new goals. You can't take your old emotions into the new plans. You can't take your old actions into the new program. You can't take the old relationships into your new life. And so the first key to this is to see it first. Whatever you want to be doing, have to see it first, but to see it from where you want to be, not from where you are. We often say we have to come to life and approach it like a child with a sense of wonder, with a sense that, man, nothing is impossible. You know how when you were a child, you thought that nothing was impossible. I remember jumping off the house. We had a two-story house. And I remember jumping off the roof. I was convinced I could fly. And I mean, being a promoter, I had all my Sonny Boy and all my buddies and Sing and all the kids who grew up with me, and they were there to watch me fly. And I did. I actually flew. There was a lesson though. And the lesson was flying was not the issue. Landing was the challenge. So we learned that now. Okay. But that same sense of wonder that we had to have the courage to jump off that house is a sense of wonder we need to develop now about where we want to be. People plan their vacation with much more diligence than they plan their lives. And so let's look at this. Let's look at this parallel. There's a scripture that says, where there is no vision, the people perish. We often interpret that as the vision for tomorrow or the next day or next week. No, the vision is much bigger than that. To really be an effective person and transform this year into the year that you desire, the vision must be the vision of your purpose, the reason that you were created. And so let's follow this analogy. When you plan for your vacation, I've watched it, I've done it. You decide where you want to go, and you get the brochures, and you look at the pictures. It's a cruise, maybe, and you look at all the pictures they send you of the activities on the boat, and you decide the clothes that you're going to wear. You start buying the clothes a year before the vacation. I mean, everything is done with the vision of that vacation and the time you're going to have. Why can't we do that with our lives? Why can't we create a personal vision of the way we want our life to be? Now, this is a kicker here, folks. We often look at where I want to be at the end of this year. What's my goal for this year? But what we'll find in living an effective life is we need to look at a 30-year goal. We need to look at a generational goal. The old people used to tell us, and I didn't listen, and maybe some of you didn't either. The old people used to tell us, get a job with a pension. And it did not compute. It did not compute. Get a job with a pension. But when you look 30 or 40 years down the line, what's going to be your income? How will you and your family survive? How will you meet your obligations? And so now when you look at that big picture, that changes a lot of things now. I was listening to I spoke at an event last night, and there was a lady there who was selling insurance. And she was talking about the fact that you need to do insurance when you're young. Don't wait until you're 65 to go out and try to buy life insurance. You know, many times you read a lot of these policies. We had a policy, Sandra had a policy, and it turned out that when she hit 65, the coverage dropped from 50,000 to 11,000. You know, it's so unfair. Nobody really reads those insurance contracts. And think about it, the print is so small. It's designed to be like that. But now, at age 65, at age 70, go out and try to buy insurance now. So it's this type of farsightedness that you must demonstrate in our lives now. So have a vision of, and let's look at, I'm looking at 6 areas. So 30 years is a bit much, and depending on where you are in life, you may want to scale it down a little bit. But look at a vision that's beyond this year. Look at a vision that takes you further down the line, because once you see where you want to be 5 years from now, it can determine what you do for these next 5 years. When if you only look at where you want to be 1 year from now, it's a very limited picture of where you want to be 5 years from now. So look at this. And you know, with these last 2 days, whether you have succeeded or failed in accomplishing your goals, you can do this. And if you do this successfully, it will transform your life. Sit down and write, draw, describe where you want to be 5 years from today. Where you want to be 5 years from today in your personal vision. How do you see yourself 5 years from today? Your weight, your being, your appearance, all those things about yourself. How do you see yourself 5 years from today? Look at your family vision. You know, those of us who have kids and grandkids, your vision may be to see your grandchild graduate. I know we have some grandkids graduating, And boy, that's a part of my vision. It makes me feel so good. Like, man, we got that started. See that family vision 5 years from today. Where do you want your family to look like? Where do you want to be living? All those aspects of your family. Look at your professional area. What will you be doing to make a living 5 years from today? Look at your financial area. And you see, this is one area I think most of us, many of us get stuck on this financial area, you know. But look at the financial area 5 years from today. Where will you be in your finances? Will you have enough money? Will you have enough resources? Will the source of income be under your control? You know, today, that paradigm that our parents told us about, like, work and get a pension. You notice these corporations now don't offer pensions. Many of the companies now, and maybe even most, don't offer any kind of pension. They say, that's personal direction. You should be in charge of your own finances. So that financial aspect, look at your spiritual goal 5 years from now. That spiritual vibration, to be at peace with yourself. Look at your community goals. What do you want your world to look like? I'm living in a transition community. When I was a young man, it was a very upscale, middle class neighborhood. The principal lived on the corner, my band teacher across the street, the doctor on the other corner. So it was a nice middle class neighborhood. Then it became the hood as people moved away. And then it now has become the cargo district, a trendy district. And I'm not mad with them because a house that was once when we built it at 40,000 now is worth over 400,000. A house we bought for 60 is now worth like 425. So I'm not mad with them. Okay. But just shows you how you have to have that projection down 5 years, 10 years down the line. So many of us who have assets, I know we have Tanya's a real estate broker on the line. I'm sure there's some other brokers in Shalentia, real estate brokers on our Zoom this morning. That to see the value of real estate 5 years down the way, 10 years down the way, when you see that, it can change what you do in the now. So that's step one. And put some time in to see it first. If you can't see it, you can't be it. But see the big picture, not just the month, not just the year, but 5 years, 10 years, even more. Step two, work backwards. You see, once you see the vision now, you create the vibration of the place of the place you want to go. You think about that. Look back at that vacation analogy. Once you decide you want to go on that cruise, whatever it is, that vacation, you get into it. You see it. You feel it. You smell it. You start talking about who you're going to take with you, and what you are going to dress, and buying hats and everything. In other words, you get into the feeling of it so strong, and that you start working backwards. You start buying clothes for the vacation. You start saving money for the vacation. Oh, they're going to have gambling. I'd like to take $1,000, and that way I'm going to come back with 10. But work backwards. Let the vibration of the vision determine the path to get there. I'm going to say that again. Let the vibration of the vision, the clarity with which you can see the vision, the emotional connection which you can have with the vision, let that be the force that pulls you to the vision. So many times, cars have front wheel drive and back wheel drive. So with that front wheel drive, it pulls the car along. With back wheel drive, it pushes the car along. You want to live your life where the dream pulls you along. And as you work backwards based on the dream itself, the vibration of the dream gives you wisdom and clarity to determine the steps to get there. The third key now is, with that vision clearly in your mind, set the steps to get there. Lay out the goals that will lead you to that vision. And put some time into it, folks. If there's one thing you can do in these next 2 days that you cannot fail at, is to do this. This is only in your hands. You don't need any money. You don't need any assistance. It's all in your hands. So set the goals that will lead you to that vision. The Habakkuk says, write the vision, make it plain, write them down. I recommend that you get a notebook. This is my notebook. I have notebooks for every month. And in that notebook, I can look back 10 years and read that notebook and know where my mind was at that time. So set these goals that will lead you to your vision, step 3. And then once that is done, develop the action plan to get you there. Now, in the success toolbox, there's a whole treatment on this, a whole treatment of assessing where you are right now, of changing making the necessary changes in your life, to set new goals, to develop an action plan. Well, we're working now from where you want to go. So now develop that action plan based on where you want to go rather than based on where you are. If your action plan is based on your present condition, then all the stuff that you bring with you, the negative stuff, the positive stuff, is there to either undermine or uplift you. If your action plan is based on where you want to be, then whatever's there is under your control. You decide what you want to do. And then step 5 is to take action. And when I say take action, you see, everything is done in a time context. Time, life, is God's gift to us. What we do with that time, the management of our life, is our gift to God. And so when we talk about taking action, I'm talking about moment to moment, minute to minute, hour to hour, day to day, week to week. Because life is such that every moment in life has the reality of where you are, but also has the potential of where you want to be. And so if you treat each moment like that, then you won't go chilling. I was listening to some folks, young folks talking, and when I was a young man, when we said I'm chilling, that meant that we were taking a breather between activities. But now chilling has become the activity. So literally, people chill and that's it. There's no activity other than the chilling. And so this idea of an action plan is a day-to-day method of operation. When we look at this picture, look at life as a company, a corporation. Every corporation has a mission statement. That's your purpose. Every corporation has a business plan. That's your modus operandi. Okay. Every corporation has an operation plan, how to get it done. Every corporation has a monitoring plan. How well are you doing? And so we can take these same principles, because life is the ultimate business. In business, when you're successful, you make a profit. In life, when it's successful, you experience happiness and joy and security. So now with these 5 steps, let's bring it home. And this last portion is, let's look at this year. So taking that big context, looking at it from the big context, let's break it down to this year. And once again, in the success toolbox, there's a whole piece there on that. And those of you who are listening, whenever you're listening to this, we have a free booklet called Setting and Achieving Your Goals. And in that booklet is a whole study, a process of how to set your full year goals. There's a nice treatment of it also in the 12 Universal Laws of Success in the action plan. But this day, between today and tomorrow, set your full year goal. And when you set your full year goal, you take that full year goal and you lay it out. And this is what we do. This weekend, between today and tomorrow, set your goals for 1 year. And look at those areas. There may be other areas, but look at your personal, look at your family, look at your professional, look at your financial, look at your spiritual, look at your community goals. Write them down. And once you set that goal for 1 year, write it all down. Then determine what must be done to accomplish your 1 year goal. Make a list of all those things that you have to do to accomplish that 1 year goal. In a simplistic fashion, if you want to have $5,000 at the end of this year, then you need to save about $450 a month. I think will do it. Okay. And so if you save $450 a month, that's one way to have $5,000. And so And so determine what must be done to achieve each one of your goals. And get some, you may want to get some loose leaf paper or notebook. I like a notebook because you can find it and it's all in one place. But make those lists of the things that have to be done. Once you've completed that list of all those things that have to be done, now when you list them, list the dates that they must be done. You see, one of the things in life is if you don't schedule it, it won't get done. Anything that's not scheduled will probably not get done. So once you lay out all the things that must be done to accomplish each one of your full year goals, put a date beside when it must be done. Once you've done that, now break those things to be done to get you into your full year goal. Break them down into monthly goals. So once you put the dates on all the things you have to do, then now you just organize them under each month. There's certain things you have to do every month. So that idea, if I want to have $5,000 by the end of next year, step one, save $425 every month. So that's a monthly goal. If I want to have a increase in my job, maybe one of your goals is to get a promotion to the next level, then what do you have to do every month to get there? Put that down. But once you set those monthly goals for the full year, and I'm telling you, folks, a lot of times we get stuck and we want to do 1 month. Let me just get through January. No. When you set the goals for the full year, it gives you a different mindset. You see a bigger picture. Because what happens when you lay out the full year, there may be something in October that will be definitely impacted by something that should have been done in March. If you're only setting March goals, you won't know that until you get to October, and then you're unprepared. So lay out the full year, each one of the steps, and take some time. Abraham Lincoln said if he was going to chop down a tree and he had 4 hours to do it, he'd spend the first 3 hours sharpening the axe. And so these next 2 days, there's no reason for you to fail at this. If you don't get this done, that's in your hands. Doesn't need anybody but you. So now once you've set those monthly goals that must be done, determine what must be done to accomplish each one of those monthly goals, those activities, and you lay those out. And now we bring it home. Take the first month. Take the first month and break it down and set weekly goals for each week in the first month. This is critical because the first month is the month you establish your rhythm, your success rhythm. The first month is the month that you establish the habits that will take you through the rest of the year. The first month is when you want to do your 21-day challenges to break bad habits and create new habits. So when you set weekly goals for that first month, let's just assume 4 weeks. Everything you did, you had listed as things that necessary to be done. You had a date on it. If you don't have a date on it, you see you don't know where to put it. So weekly goals for the first month, dates. And then, see, we're always working from. Remember we said, see the vision and work backwards. So now we have our monthly goal for the first month. We have our 4 weekly goals. Take the first week. Those goals for the first week now, break them down into daily goals. So whatever your first week's goals are, break them down into daily goals. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And then under each daily goal, list the actions that must be performed to accomplish that daily goal. Always working backwards from where you want to be. So now your 1 year goal has broken down to what you do this first week. In fact, it's broken down to what you must do on Monday, on the first day of the first week. And now the ball is in your hands. All you have to do is execute, execute, execute. Execute on a moment-to-moment basis, asking yourself, what is the best use of my time right now? And then act accordingly. In that execution phase, you want to become a time master where you spend dollar time on dollar jobs. You don't tittle and piddle around. You become a master of your emotions. You don't let defeats and discouragement and insecurity slow you down. You become a master of your habits. In the beginning, you create your habits. In the end, your habits create you. So create good habits. You became a master of good decision making by understanding the decision making process. And then finally, you just keep doing it and doing it and doing it. One tip I'll give you now is like live in day-tight compartments. And that is this. When you become a time master, you allocate the most important activities to the best time of day that you function better. If you're better in the morning, then you set the most important activities for the morning. And stick to your time blocks. When I say time bound, when you execute them on that daily basis, if you say from 9 o'clock to 11 o'clock, I'm going to review my emails, review my all my calls, and make notes for the things that I have to respond to and going through the mail. Okay. Now at 11 o'clock, if you're not finished, you got to put that aside, because whatever you're supposed to do from 11 to 1, if you carry over from 9 to 11 into what you were supposed to do 11 to 1, you get out of step, you get out of cycle. As a writer, one of my coaching clients has been writing and working, and he asked me, well, what's the secret? Doc, I want to write. I got all these great ideas. And I said, schedule a time, make your writing time sacred. You set 2 hours a day or 3 hours, whatever amount of time you feel comfortable writing, you set that time aside and you honor that time absolutely. When we were writing the 12 Universal Laws of Success, I hit a roadblock. And one day it dawned on me that the way to get beyond the roadblock was to get beyond the roadblock. And so don't worry and wait for inspiration. Focus on operation. So from 9 to 12 every morning, Monday through Friday, my commitment was be at the desk. Whether you're having good inspiration or not, be at the desk and do the work. So these day-tight compartments now will keep you from spilling over. You may fall short in one segment, but don't let that segment mess up the other segment. Because at the end of the day, if you stay with the day-tight compartments, at the end of the day, you'll have more wins than lessons. So folks, let me summarize. When we say it's never too late to make a new start, it's all about seeing the promised land first. See it exactly the way you want it to be in every regard. See it in each of your areas, the personal, the family, the financial, the professional, spiritual, community. See it in all those areas. 2, work backwards. See that vision and focus on it and write it down so that the vibration of the vision pulls you toward it. Number 3, set new goals now that will lead you to that vision. Number 4, develop that action plan that will get daily results. And number 5, get busy. Action is proof of the pudding. Results is proof of concept. Apply this process in this 1 year goal, but see that bigger picture first. See that 5 year goal, that 10 year goal. And make sure that your 1 year goal is congruent with the 5 year goal. It's congruent with the 10-year goal. So then this year, put that plan into action by setting your goals for the full year, by listing everything that must be done to accomplish your full year goals for this year. Put times on it so you know when these things have to be done. Break those goals down for the full year into your monthly goals. Lay out the activities that must be done in each month of your monthly goals. Break your monthly, take the first month of the year and lay it out into weekly goals. Set out the activities that must be accomplished in the first, second, each week. Go back to the first week and set out daily goals. Lay out those actions, schedule when they must be done, and create a daily method of operation that gets results. Constantly monitor your progress and be committed to get better each and every day. Your mantra for this next year should be every day in every way, I'm getting better and better. When you can do that, believe me, this will be your year for outrageous success. When you can make this new start and create this new ending, forgetting about the beginning, forgetting about where you're at right now, but focusing on where you want to be, nothing is impossible. You can be what you want to be, do what you want to do, and have anything you desire, always knowing that the best is yet to come. And so it is. Just take a deep breath. Let it out slowly. Thanks so much for being with us today. For those of you on Instagram, those of you on Facebook, those of you on our Zoom call, on our Zoom program, thank you so much. This has been a magnificent year that we've spent together. I thank each and every one of you who've spoken and who've shared and who've supported it. And I say to this, if you need help this year, if you need guidance, if you need coaching, if you need assistance, if you need help laying out your goals, send me an email, herbert@herbertharris.com, herbert@herbertharris.com, because there may be an answer for whatever your challenge may be. When you send me an email, I'll be sure to send you a copy of the Setting and Achieving Your Goals booklet and the 12 affirmation poster to help you reprogram your mind so that you can truly be, do, and have anything you desire. This is Dr. Herbert Harris saying it's been my honor to serve you. Happy New You, Happy New Year. Truly, truly, the best is yet to come. So it is.